Oh, hello. I was thinking today about the sanctions and about how the White House is taking on sanction after sanction. And I was thinking about one aspect that was sort of humorous about it, and I want to share that with you. Now, I don't think that it's funny because this is the reason why the sanctions are even happening, is because um, Russia invaded the Ukraine. And there's people dying in the Ukraine, and the Russian people, that's not Vladimir Putin, that's the Russian people. They're like stuck with this guy. Now you could say, well, they're believing everything that they hear, and it's so obvious that it's state TV. It's true. Um, it is true, but I still feel for them, and I know that this is going to be rough. I know this is going to be rough on the Russian people, and we're not just talking about them not being able to go to McDonald's, but it's rough. It's rough for everybody. And one of the things that I was thinking about was like, say in the United States, you're restricted from working, financial business with Russia. And that is going to put a real damper in some people that do illegal stuff like money laundering. And the funny aspect of it is I just remember thinking about Donald Trump and his plans to, have Trump Moscow and all this. Sorry, Donald, there will be no Trump Moscow. This is going to go on for a while, and sanctions are not going to be lifted until Putin's out of there. It's flat out. So there is no choice. Now, I know everybody's worried, like, well, what if Putin does something crazy? Yeah, well, that's right. And nothing's beyond him. And this whole, thing about his disinformation campaign, because they don't have freedom of speech in that country. We do here. That can keep our politicians in check. Now, we did have a politician that would say, like, anytime anything was said bad about him, he started using the term fake news. Well, that's the term that Vladimir Putin uses. But Vladimir Putin's in a different position, so he got rid of any news agency just recently that would have the tendency to tell the truth. So they're in a much different type of country where we just had somebody saying, it never made sense to me, ever. You have every news agency is sort of saying similar things about someone, and then you have we had a president that was saying it was all fake news, and we had one channel, Fox, that was just repeating what the guy said without fact checking. For the most part, there was Chris Wallace and Shep Smith, and that was the national news, and they would fact check the guy. But they left Fox because, they didn't want to be lying. They didn't want to be in that situation. And I'm sure that there was pressure on them to lie, to just say what the president says and don't fact check him. That's what our democracy is sort of held together with, the fact that we have freedom of speech and we have news agencies that can say what they want, meaning they can say the truth. And you can have news agencies that can flat out, either lie, Fox, or just like not fact check the president because that's their guy. So that's not what they have over there now. They don't even have anything like that. They had this one channel called Rain and a couple others that was putting out factual stuff, and because of the fear in Russia that Putin said recently, like, if you even use the term war, you're going to get 15 years in jail. So those news agencies just shut down because they're like, they're being handed this stuff that we want you to say. And they're like, we're not going to do it. Now, there were last week, there were two reporters on a live national talk show that said that the invasion was horrible. And since they said this, they haven't been seen. Now, either they're going to come back and they're going to be speaking what Russia tells them to speak, Putin tells them to speak, or they're just not going to come back. But they've been off TV since. Now, there's intellectuals in Russia that don't believe everything that Putin hears, and there's about 40% of the population that really doesn't believe Putin. About 60%, 62% back him. Like, I don't know why. I think it's something to do sort of like with why Trump was backed was people just liked him and didn't really sort of listen to what's being said unless it was what they wanted to hear. Right? You don't want to hear that your guy that you voted for is doing something illegal or even morally wrong. You don't want to hear that because it's your guy. You believe in them. But if it's a politician, you should really step back and listen to what everybody's saying. And if somebody tells you, "Oh, well, it's fake news," you better start thinking, well, wait a minute. We have one cable channel that is saying something totally opposite than every other cable channel. Does that make sense? No, it doesn't. Now, Russia, they're really going to get hit hard with these economic sanctions. We'll be okay. We have a much stronger economy than them. The ruble is worth less. It's like you need so many rubles now to equal a dollar. It's worthless. It's like worth half a penny. That's it. 1 ruble is worth half a penny. Now it's going to even be worse. Now, Americans can't do business with Russia. So circumstances that are being looked into, like Trump's sale of a house in Florida that was, instead of being worth like, you'll have to check the prices, but I think it was worth like 10 million or something. It was a big piece of property, was bought by a Russian for like 190 million. So that's clearly suspected money laundering. Now, Trump is, he's got stuff in New York State, like they're looking at, his finances. He's in deep trouble in a lot of arenas, and even with January 6th. So he's in deep trouble, but he's clearly not going to be able to get money from the Russians. There's no way. He couldn't, right now, they're so deep in his shit, he couldn't make a sale like that. If it is laundering, I don't know. But, maybe the Russian dude just wanted the property so bad, I gave you a ridiculous amount of money so nobody buys it in the next 2 seconds. It's not the way property is bought and sold. So it looks very bad. So Americans like Trump, he can't open up a place, and he can't open up Trump Russia. He can't even, like most of his buildings, most of his how he was making money was branding the name. So they give him money just to put the Trump name on a building, and then it's like the name's like leased. So he can't even do that. So if Vlad wanted to do something, like, okay, we'll have Trump Moscow, he can't even do that. He can't give Trump any money. So Trump's well is run dry, but I think Trump's well is run dry a long time ago. Because, like, you can't, it all looks so suspicious. It just looks so suspicious. So any money laundering that was being done by the oligarchs can't really be done now. You have Deutsche Bank, which was clearly doing money laundering with Russia. They got in trouble for that. And they just the other day said that they're not going to do any business with Russia anymore. So you have the central bank being controlled. Russia is up shit's creek. You can have all the money you want. You can have it, but if it's just sort of like you can't eat it, you can't buy your yachts. Now the yachts are interesting because the yachts, the Russians are talking about billions of dollars, right? So the yachts were never really in like say Peskov's name. It's in like a holding company out of wherever, Bermuda or the Cayman Islands. So is it really owned by like say Peskov? Oh yeah, it is. It is, but the title of the boat isn't in his name. So does he really own it? Oh, he owns it. He owns it. There's there's boats sailing around the Mediterranean right now, yachts that really can't go into port, and if they go within 12 miles of shore, they're going to be seized. Like if they're Italy or any of those companies, they're going to seize them. That's it. So where do you take the yacht? One, you need to fill it up. How long can you let the yacht sit out in the water, anchored? You need to get supplies. You need gas, you need oil. They can't have those yachts, and those yachts need a lot of maintenance. I was in the Navy, man. Those boats need a lot of maintenance. They really get screwed up. The salt water screws them up. It's constantly, you have to put maintenance into the boat that is in salt water. So you see, those things are ridiculous. I mean, who has money to spend like that? To just say, oh, I'm going to buy this ridiculous yacht. I mean, my friends can hang out on it. I mean, it's like a floating apartment building. It's absurd. It's so absurd. So that'll be a whole court battle, because you can't just take somebody's property. It doesn't matter if it's Russian. You have to be able to prove that it is, it's a Russian owns it, and those are in holding companies. So, what's my guess? They'll be seized and not given back. That's what I think. I look at the guy that owned the soccer team, and he right away was like, he was trying to do damage control. I'm gonna sell the soccer company or the soccer team, and then I'm gonna give the money to the Ukrainians that are being displaced and everything. Well, that's not really good enough, They don't, we don't care. The people involved don't care, because the bottom line is Putin needs to go. If you have a president that changes your constitution and says that they can just, there's no term limits, you can just be president as long as you want, beware, that means you're in Russia or China. We had a president that congratulated the Chinese dude, because, oh, congratulations, that's great, you get to be president for life. Well, that's not so good for the Chinese people, is it? You don't get a choice. You have one person telling you what to do for your entire life. Putin has been in office so long, wasn't he? I think he was president one term and then got voted out, because it was, back then it was the voting was actually counted. Now it's controlled by Putin. So I can't remember when he changed the Constitution. It wasn't too long ago, so that he could just keep running. But if you run against Putin, what happens to you? You end up getting sick and end up getting poisoned. That's not good. So the Russians are really gonna get damaged here, and I don't see it really doing that much. For where our economy is already sort of on shaky ground. We're going a recession, whatever. We'll bounce back just fine. Um, the whole deal with oil. There's a lot. OPEC has a lot of oil. I think that we were only, if I'm not mistaken, getting less than 10% of our oil from Russia, and I believe that that was going to Hawaii and California. So the price of gas will go up in Hawaii or California, but Hawaii already said weeks ago, we're not putting your oil in our refineries anymore. So they're all prepared. Gas is always going to be expensive on Hawaii anyway, but it's only 10%. So if we have some kind of bargaining chip with OPEC, which I'm sure we do, um, they'll increase production and our gas won't go up to like $7 or $8 because it's we're still going to be supplied, but we should start drilling on some of the property that's leased from the government. I mean, we should, and we should push electric vehicles. Then it's like, 2035. Fuck this. Get this shit going. Give incentives for people to have electric vehicles. They work great. They do. Look at Tesla. If I had money, you think I wouldn't want to own a Tesla? My God. Those things are great. You don't have to worry about charging your vehicle because the car tells you when it's going to when it needs to be charged and where to charge. Tells you where the charging stations are. It's all mapped out. I gotta go to Toronto, right? So on the way up, you go 200 miles or whatever. Before you get to that point, it's going to say we have to make a stop here and charge. I think it takes like 15 minutes or something. It's fairly quick. 15, 20 minutes. Maybe it's longer than pumping gas, but while it's charging, go in and buy your beef jerky. That's what we should have. We should have electric vehicles. Skip over the hybrid. Just electric vehicles. That's it. It should be. I mean, here. They're putting up solar farms everywhere. Like this started about 5 years ago. I started seeing them, and man, they're just going up everywhere. And that's how it should be. Don't depend on nuke energy. That's God. Then we end up in situations like the Ukraine. You never know. You get a maniac that wants to blow the thing up, and then you have a problem. There's countries like France that the majority of, man, they have nuke power plants all over that country. They're everywhere. I think that's like 90% of their energy comes from nuke. Who needs something that has like a waste product that has a half-life of 1,000 years or whatever it is? Do we need that? No, we don't need that. It's disgusting. Not good. Not good. So that's what I wanted to talk about is Donald Trump. Sorry, Donnie. No more Trump Moscow. Looks like how you gonna well, he can't do anything right now anyway. I mean, seriously. He can do nothing. He can do nothing as far as he was doing money laundering. He can't do it anymore. They're so deep into his shit now. He's not president. He's not president, right? So that guy was so bad. As a Republican, I was a Republican. I just feel like, why was I ever a Republican? That's how he got me feeling like. And I see all these other Republicans like ones that are in office that are all about like QAnon and conspiracy theory. They're in office down in DC. It's crazy. These congressmen, they're God. where did the Republican Party go? It used to be like this, like they would claim that they had like this kind of moral, you know, fuck. It just makes me sick. It does. I never thought our country would be like this. Like our democracy is in trouble. It is. When did you ever think that there would be like just flat out racism, in Congress? Like somebody that runs on a race, their their platform is about racism and hate. There was the one guy in Iowa that was around, and then he's not around anymore. I forgot what his name was. Dickhead. He would just say some racist stuff, but not really like go to a rally that's run by racist. What's her name? Marjorie Greene. She shows up at the rally. I don't know, man. I don't get it. Everybody's different, but the amount of DNA it takes to make straight hair curly or curly hair straight or dark skin light or light skin dark is minuscule. We're all the same. We're all human. We're all born the same. What are you afraid of? Is it the cultural things like Marjorie Taylor Greene? Yeah, that's it. What scares you because they have different cultural differences or something? Or is it the skin color? What is it? I don't know. It doesn't make any sense to me. Anyway. And she harps on more profiteering and then buys Lockheed Martin stock like a day before the invasion. Yeah, sure. Absolutely. Yeah, that group of the Republican Party is so hypocritical. It's like, I think about Richard Burr, selling his stock right before shit went down. Who was the woman that was in Congress that was, her husband was head of the SEC? Not SEC, whatever. Doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? Who cares? The point is that it's a fucking wreck. You know what I need? I need motion detectors for a 9 volt and 6 volt system. I'm thinking I can't use this because this is, unless I wired it in differently. I don't know. They sell them. I was going to take one out of a blank camera, but I don't know if that's wise. I just buy it off the shelf. Frankenstein and some shit. Yeah, it wasn't. I think you're right. I can't remember. It doesn't matter. But she was in the know, was the point. She should have been divested when she was in Congress. Like, that should be a law or something. Most of those people that run for Congress have millions of dollars anyway. What's it fucking matter? Can't you, you want to do that? Maybe you should, divest or put it in some kind of like trust where you're not handling it. And, make phone calls saying, hey, sell my shit because tomorrow something's going down. It's the SEC, Securities Exchange Commission. But, I'm not against them making money, but like, just, I don't know. Putin's he's gonna be pissed. I mean, the whole, thanks, Justin Blackwood. Putin's gonna be pissed. He's gonna want economic revenge upon us. I just worry about him sending somebody over here with a dirty bomb or something, which is more about fear than anything, you know. That's what it is. You know, something real basic that's just, you know, medical waste tied to dynamite or something, and then screws up like down by Wall Street, which wouldn't really do that much because they would just go to Chicago or one of the other exchanges. It's not going to really do anything, but the amount of fear it puts in people is the problem. You know, it's like, oh my God, a dirty bomb? You know, it'd dirty up the area for a while. Could they get it clean? Something like that? Yeah, probably, but it wouldn't be like overnight. Um, you know, I don't even know. Maybe, you know, that stuff has a half life too that's absurd. It's not 24 hours. Um, they'd have to go in there with hazmat suits and shit. You know, badges to monitor how much radiation they were getting. It'd be a real pain in the ass. Wouldn't be good. But no more Trump Moscow. No more money laundering from the Russians. I think most of the exchanges servers are in New Jersey. Yeah, that might cause a problem. But you know, Chicago probably has their own servers. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't really see it as like, so what? The stock exchange closes down, you know, tanks, closes down for a week. Why they transfer everything to Chicago or LA or something. And then it's a buying opportunity for people that own stock. That's what it is. It is. It's a buying opportunity. That's when people make money. You know, buy low, sell high. Somebody that can hold on to it. Not me. It's not me. Not a situation I can. Which is a bummer, but it is what it is. Um, what else? It snowed. I gotta go work with Murr and Lutzy. Um, I'm cleaning up the area around the green screen. I want to green screen some stuff and show you one of my new things, my new robots, but I don't know. You'll see them soon enough. It's all going together pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it. The robots are going to be used. They're props, you know. So I'll probably use those first. I found out that Zarathustra is a royalty-free song. At least in the United States it is. Anything before 49 is considered royalty-free in this country. So I'm going to use it. I don't know if it could be monetized in all countries, but most my, you know, might be limited, but I'm going to use it. It's going to be in one video, but that's a great song. Yeah, it's a song. It's music, you know, no words. Congress line their pockets from lobbyists. Yeah, they do. Yep. Pretty much, right? It's real sad. I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do. I got snow. It's been snowing real hard. Now it's sort of lightening up. I guess I could go to the garage. You know, it was a bummer. I woke up and it was looking like a blizzard. Now at least it stopped. You know, I could drive on the road, no problem. But I mean, the closest place that I could like work the dogs is the barn. I'd shovel to the barn, make a path. It's not gonna stay long, so who cares? It's no big deal. I mean, I could just work Lutzy inside, to tell the truth, doing hold. I could work with Merlin doing the kennel game. You know, he likes to do that inside. I'll figure it out. Really? 9 degrees wind chill. No shit, Shirley. Yeah, that's pretty cold. Yeah, I think I heard something like that about this too. Like it's not that cold, but there's like 35 to 40 mile an hour winds, which gives a wind chill factor of something really, you know, crazy. Minus, but you know, it's not that big of a deal. Spring is real close. By May 1st, it's warm, it's sunny. You know, it might still dip down at night, but everything's blooming. It's great. And the pawpaw trees will bloom before May. I would say my peach tree would, but my peach tree is like sort of no more. What's up, Rick? Might as well just cut it. Maybe I'll try and graft it or something. I don't know. Give it a shot. See if I can. You know, it's not rootstock. I have it pretty high up. And obviously, Rick Kane's an idiot and a troll and a bot. People have a lot to do. Clearly, they do. And they have a. That's Russian crap. I'm sorry, I'm not gonna open up your phishing scams. I don't open up anything. So I did once. I've seen some robin. I've seen robins too. I've seen robins. All the starlings seem back. Seen robins. The brown sparrows are building their nest. You know, which is cool. I like the brown sparrows. They're real smart birds. You'd be surprised. Like they're real smart. They're seed eaters and hunters. They'll do both. They like seeds. They like to kill insects. They like to hunt them. All right, I'm gonna go. I gotta go work with the dogs. I'll see y'all. Thanks again. Haha, Trump. Psst, what a dick. No, no Trump Moscow. No more selling houses for ridiculous amounts of money. Sorry.